What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the A Show with the Kings. I've dropped something as soon as I did the intro. Literally.
Easily. That was amazing, by the way. That was awesome.
Literally, like I when I talk, I move my hands, and I have like actually bad stuff that shouldn't be spilled. It fell off my thing because we're moving, and I have a lot of stuff around my desk because this will be the last day of me recording.
Will it really?
Yeah, it will be. It's the last day that I will be recording in this office. So say goodbye to the old.
Come on now. My last episode recording in the studio was a month ago. And now your last day recording, look at the changes that's occurred when you do 252 episodes of a podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it is, again, like you said, I would like, it is proof that we're both changing and leveling up in life in so many different ways, and it's really cool. But
We're here.
Wrestling.
What's going on in this wrestling? Well, first of all, you know what I would like to talk
What's
about?
that?
Something that you brought up over the weekend that was actually brought to our attention. This list of a Patreon. This Patreon list.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
The most patroned list.
It didn't sit right with me, right? It didn't sit right. Like, I don't even know if I can find it. I don't want to go through that guy's account because he's not a. I'll search the Patreon. Shout out to the Patreon, by the way. We had to make a tough decision on there this morning.
I mean, all right. So here's the thing. All right. Here's the thing with Patreon and making tough decisions and stuff like that. So I think naturally with the growth of our podcast and just the growth of things in general, we get things known as haters. People who emerge from the shadows to, well, what are the definition of haters? They try to block our shine. What did they say in Mean Girls? One of those things. People who try to subscribe just to see what we're talking about and stuff like that. But you know what? I think overall, the general gist of it, I don't even want to go down that pipeline because that's something that we can nip in the bud and we can kind of like figure out how to do this thing. I do feel like generally these black creators and stuff like that, especially with a lot of the I'm interested in what are the actual tastes, like what do wrestling fans actually want when they subscribe to a Patreon of a podcast or something along those lines, because I looked at that list and to be honest with you, only one person on that list is giving you information that I think is worth signing up to a Patreon for. And I think no offense to everybody else, they're all just, I guess it's the same thing as us, whether they just want additional content, like a podcast on a Monday right after Raw, and then a podcast Tuesday morning right during the thing. Like those are the things that I personally don't think I don't want to say I would never do, but I don't see as generally necessary to do. But I'm interested in the behaviors of the wrestling fans and like what exactly do they want out of Patreon?
White content. White content. Let's just be honest. They want white content. You could look like if it was me and you and we was white, we would be on that list. I think that wholeheartedly.
Right. No,
wholeheartedly. I absolutely believe that. And I feel as though like some of them, like I get like OSW, they've been around forever. Fightful, the biggest wrestling account in the world. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? Cornette, that's my Joe Rogan. I get it. You're rubbing your head.
You're a fool. Yes, I am. I have to give thanks to Brybosa last week for covering for me because I definitely was like out of it last week. I couldn't make it through that whole.
We're gonna talk about that
superstar, hour, of course.
Superstar today. But no, I some of these things I can get. Wrestle ticks, nigga. I am knocking your hustle. But and this is the thing, I'm not knocking any of the hustles of anyone on that list. I'm just saying that like what do the like I just feel like on this wrestling bubble, and I think in any bubble, like in terms of just like we've had like a really uptick in people really demanding and wanting more varied and more diverse content from people since 2020, right? So we want more brown, brown, black, Asian, Latino, all of that. We want more content from these people. These people are nowhere to be seen on that list. So it's like, what are all the people that, or is wrestling in such a small bubble that we don't even realize that it even after that it's not really as diverse as we thought it was, right?
I think it's a little bit of both, but it's definitely quite a bit of the latter. Because I feel like I think with even I'm just so I see WrestleTix and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess, but I still don't see. No offense to WrestleTix, do your work and stuff like that, whatever you generate from whatever audience it sees. I don't understand the. So what is actually the point of like having that information? Like, what are we doing with this information? Not necessarily, I don't want to knock anyone's hustle of doing the work, but what is the consumer really gaining from this information? Bragging rights? Um, uh, are they vendors that would also like to sell stuff to the WWE and would hope they host a show there? Like WrestleTix is like in any other thing, it would be a portal for um businesses or something along those lines that maybe I'm giving them a free idea to determine how how much these shows are selling out. And maybe, you know what, maybe they do work for standums and fandoms for bragging rights and stuff like that. I don't think that's what it should be for, but I don't think it's necessary to do that, but still, it's like, what are we gaining from that? And then I'm looking at kind of the other things. I'm like, all right, we're not going to do. Me and you aren't going to oversaturate ourselves and do a post Raw, post SmackDown, post NXT, post Dynamite episodes of shows. That's just, I think it would dilute ourselves, our thing,
Well, my
and
thing
our
is like I
product.
look at some of the stuff on that shit. I was like, okay, I could easily get that from Twitter, but I mean, I guess I see the inherent value. But my thing is like, what's the inherent value to people to get information from somebody that's black or Latino or Asian that might be within the space, or a woman? You know what I mean? I don't see none of that on that list. And
No, I agree.
I think that it's a snapshot of what people on in this community will pay for, and just a reminder of just how stupid a lot of the infighting is between all of these largely marginalized communities within this community, so to speak, that is still there. So it's like we're fighting for what? A piece of a, like, not even to be in the top 10. I think if we were to like as low as that gets, like who's lower than that top 10, 15, 20 on that? You know what I'm saying?
It's probably not. It's probably like a million billion other
Exactly. Before
things.
you
Like,
see one black creator on that, so it was eye opening to me. It didn't sit right with me. And it was like, well, who who's what do you, if y'all are so much of allies, and we see a lot of people talking about, oh man, like don't don't judge Effie for jerking off in a match. You're homophobic. Are you paying for a LGBT?
I didn't even need to see that. I almost agreed to ban you for showing me that, and also it was like AEW champions, like AEW. This is what you want to do with the people that you're on screen with, but nonetheless,
But I'm saying, like, for the people who are
no,
calling people homophobic
right.
for that, what do you do? Do you support your black and brown brothers and sisters? You know what I'm saying? Like, or is this just, again, are we still dealing with the same type of audience that this community has had? That I feel like there are certain companies that are trying to break that stigma right now.
I think it's always been my problem as well, because even like when we go into these spaces and we like, I'll see various other sources and stuff like that, but there's nothing like, I don't know. I'm looking at ourselves as like, do we need to reach out to a bigger audience? How do we capture that bigger audience? That's always been in my brain. How do we capture that bigger audience? How do we do these things and kind of get more people to listen? We've been doing this for 252 weeks in a row. Not necessarily to say that we've necessarily stalled out, because we're still growing. Don't get me wrong. we are still, we have, in terms of actual listenership, from the month of January to July, we've already matched of what we did last year in the entire year. So we're growing. People are listening to us, which is amazing, and us having a Patreon and all this stuff like that. But it's, to me, it's like, where do those new voices finally come in, and where and who are we? I don't know. Wrestling is so fucking weird,
It
bro.
is.
Like it just it is like, to try to understand this and try to. I don't even think the other creators care to an
No,
extent,
they
and yeah,
don't.
they'll have
They're
their,
completely fine with being cool with the group of people that won't pay money to actually get their content. You know what I'm saying? Like,
just to have like snarky takes, you know what I'm saying? Like snarky, like hot takes, like, back in the, just to hear kind of that, I'm
well,
like,
don't go
bro,
Keith
we're
Lee.
giving you, listen, but we are legitimately like, I care about the content that we put out. So like when we do things, like I think, pat myself on the back, the Invasion Diaries and those kind of diaries, you're not going to get that anywhere else. I, I looked at what we can offer and what the culture is, and incorporating our culture with professional wrestling, and realizing there's an audience for that. You're not going to get that anywhere else. You're not going to get the conversations that people have on Spot Callers. You're not going to get anything else pretty much like associated, knowing that I can also talk anime and you can talk culture and music on other podcasts and still come out here and really talk wrestling respectively and respectedly. And you're not going to get that anywhere else. So the fact that I look at amazing content creators, like of course our Black Announce Table and Black Wrestling, and what they do, and the fact that we're like, I still consider us, the big three in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion. um and we're not alike in the way that we put out content or the way that we sound, and I think that's amazing. But if you look at that list, you can't tell me 95% of them aren't doing the exact same
No.
thing. So I don't know. That list was like, I saw the list. I was working on something else while we were having the conversation about it, so I wasn't able to chime in on the Discord. But I do believe that we need to figure out, we need to support, and we need to make some room, and we need to um get kind of like, not necessarily, it's not an all-encompassing list, and also the list was posted on Twitter, and it's not like it was any kind of news source or anything of really, because like Twitter content for me doesn't hold up past 24 hours. um but it's still like interesting, I guess. I mean, it's definitely interesting in the way it was brought across. So you know what, I would say, support Black wrestling content creators, every form, every facet. Hopefully we can continue to think of voice. Hopefully I don't have to beg for interviews,
But
like
those
I
white
have
people
done
don't.
before.
Those white people don't have to beg for it.
They absolutely don't. Like, we don't, I would love to be at your, I would love to be, when they come to New York, I can also be on whatever media scrum or whatever the thing is. I would love when they come to LA, you could hop in and do your thing as well. Or if they're in Florida, and Cyrus could do his thing as well. Or if they're in Connecticut, the Quan could do his thing as well. I would love those kind of opportunities. I've had to like pretty much kick and beg and all types of other things for those opportunities, and we still don't even really get it as much anymore. But I see I think we're A1 with the content that we have, and hopefully in the future the numbers will reflect it.
Yeah.
How about
Yeah.
that?
Do you want to go to Patreon?
Yeah. Yeah, let's go to
All right.
Patreon.
All right. No holds barred. Slow week, man. Not gonna lie. We got some interesting
It
stuff.
was slow.
We got some
I
interesting
think
stuff.
I think the shows are the main piece for this week, and continue to understand Triple H's kind of like direction or vision for these shows. But we do definitely have some no holds barred stuff. What do we got for this week?
So we have a lot of stuff on the quarter two reporting from WWE, including some quotes from Stephanie McMahon, Triple H, Nick Khan, all of that stuff. So let's just put that all in one big kind of part for the show this week. first off, WWE reporting, or Triple H reporting himself, that WrestleMania 39 sold over 90,000 tickets in 24 hours. And he's not fucking lying. This shit is damn near sold out. I was very like, oh, why are they doing it in August? And it doesn't even seem to matter. It really looks like to me like they've never been hotter than this. Like if
trying to get in before that recession hit.
exactly. Well, I mean, they look to be. The thing is like even when in last year when unemployment was up, you know what I'm saying? Like they were still selling out arenas. Still,
I mean,
I'm not saying they recession proof, but it don't seem like nothing has really slowed them down. Like not even Vince leaving has slowed them down. Their stocks started at $77 yesterday.
I want to see how the long term effect on Vince leaving, but it definitely in these early weeks, nothing has slowed down. Nothing has slowed down in terms of just kind of like um, how business has been running, how business is currently doing. They're still doing the best that they ever done. There's no like steep drop off anywhere. Um,
42% rise from Dallas. And mind you, we got our Dallas tickets this year in December. You'll be hard pressed to find anyone who's able to even get something for a reasonable price on resale by that time this year.
Hell to the fucking no at this point. Resale is the devil, but it
Um,
is what it is.
Triple H has a quote from this morning saying that since the retirement of Vince McMahon, a lot of people have been very positive about Triple H's involvement, but he said that he's talked about how he has been handling it, and he says that the opportunity in front of us is massive. And as a great man once told me, first day on the job thinking. That's what we're doing here. First day on the job thinking. For me, I've been doing this a long time, from behind the scenes and creative, from really almost the very beginning of my career here with WWE. I've been approaching it from a first day, what is working, what isn't working, from the overall picture, all the way down to the smallest of details, and trying to create from here. I think the opportunity is massive. It's an opportunity for us to not only engage with the stars we have for our fans, but to create new stars as well, and create a platform and opportunity for them to become bigger than anything we've ever seen prior to it. Sounds good.
I mean, you got the vision. Sounds good. Let's see what happens. You know what I'm
Uh,
saying?
Stephanie took over as well. She's the co-CEO, of course, and she says that she reveals, which I don't know why people are upset about this. That's all a lot of people saying. How could this be? And I'm like, you don't know,
Yeah,
understand. But she
sidebar before we continue on. Maybe this is weird for me to say. Um, if I was Triple H, I would be like, I would have so much anxiety from moving from a professional wrestler into someone who's essentially responsible now for running things. And he could have a great team around him, which I hope he does. And I'd be interested to see like what his team actually looks like around him and making all these decisions. But I would be scared shitless, especially coming off of, the health complications he has. And now it seems like he's getting a lot more responsibility. I would hope that he manages to transform. I hope the WWE culture in itself transforms to reflect that. Like this man, obviously, just came back earlier this year from health issues. He's got a lot on his plate. He's got a lot to do. He's been having fun with it. It seems like he's having fun with it.
I
He's
mean,
been acting the fool with it.
we're having fun with it. Shit. I
Yeah,
mean,
he's been acting the fool with it.
um,
He's been doing what it do. But yeah, I just hope the best for him. I wish the best for him.
he'll be all right. He rich. So Stephanie revealed.
You rich, man. Come on.
He ain't no fucking rich. She revealed that Vince McMahon is still very much the controlling shareholder in WWE. He still has his eyes on what's best for business in terms of maximizing return to our shareholders, of which he's the biggest shareholder. Nick, Paul, Frank, and I remain focused on delivering the maximum result to our shareholders. We'll properly evaluate any opportunity that comes our way with that lens in mind. Do not be shocked. But hey, yeah, he still has a lot of shares in the company. They can't just push him out. We knew that. It's just that he doesn't have control over creative. There you go. Don't be mad at that. Sorry.
Hey, I mean, it is what it is.
WWE posted a massive 49.1 million net income for quarter two, which is insane. They only had 29.2 in the same period last year off revenue of 265.5 million of revenue. $328 million they made in just for the quarter.
Hey, they saying who but we? You know what I'm saying?
And
Who but us?
I said this on Discord last week. I said if they manage to and they were aiming at 320. I think they said it earlier. But if they manage, I said if they manage to do 328, like they're a fast running train. There is nothing that will stop them here. Barring like a terrible tragedy. You know what I'm saying? Like it will not stop them. It seems as though the Vince thing has not affected the business at whatsoever. And if I'm any other company looking to do business with them or looking to buy with them, I think you're looking at that pretty seriously when you think.
No, I think absolutely you are. And the fact that they've continued to maintain, to me, to be honest with you, the fact they've continued to maintain is just a snapshot of like how people give a shit about wrestling or
Yeah,
don't give a shit about wrestling. Because if anybody else does it, the business is in the dirt. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Everything
Live
is else
events,
in the dirt.
live events, 41 million, giant increase. WrestleMania up 60% in viewership. WrestleMania Backlash up
And
40.
I don't even think they have as much live events as they used to.
They don't. They
They
don't.
just hitting niggas over the head with prices.
Uh, WrestleMania Backlash up 49%. Hell in a Cell up 45%. Which again, shout out to Cody Rhodes because that was to me his
Oh,
event.
yes, of course.
And SummerSlam,
The Cody trilogy, of course.
the Cody
Yes.
flu game. It's the Cody flu game. But again, they're saving Peacock too. So like the Peacock, they're
It's a little
leaning.
bit both ways, man. It's a little bit both ways. I don't know if they saving Peacock. Peacock saving them too.
How's Peacock saving them?
A lot more people to view the product.
That Peacock don't
Accessibility.
Peacock don't have that many subscribers. WWE's bringing in the subscribers to Peacock.
How many subscribers Peacock got?
I want to say about 45 mil, and
How many
that was.
subscribers the network had?
But we don't know. But at the same time, they're still again from their numbers, they're raising people coming into Peacock from that,
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course. It's the only way to watch WWE, the live events.
which means that they're helping Peacock more than
Of course, yeah. I said that.
they could go anywhere and get
I'm
that.
just saying it's both ways. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying it's a mutual kind of
And
relationship.
if the EA ain't on Peacock, Peacock's done right now. Peacock's being looked at like Paramount Plus to get bought in a year.
Hey, man. Do something with the Paramount Plus, baby.
Um,
Home watching at the challenge.
but extremely high value here. Nick Khan actually gets on the call and says, you know, they're still looking at deals, and they're still, you know, they're remaining bullish.
He's saying the bag is out there.
Yeah, he's saying he won't divulge what they're looking for the next round of media rights in 2024. But he believes the addition of tech companies adding live content to their streaming platforms will only enhance their position. He feels that Netflix tipped its hand by bidding on the recent Formula One rights that were retained by ESPN, and expects Netflix to continue to go after live programming, which is a very interesting point. I think he's right. I think that this landscape for WWE is bigger than it's ever been in 2024, and if they keep posting these numbers, you could see realistically a $2 billion deal for their catalog.
I'm gonna give it a buck. I don't really want to pay for Netflix, but I mean, I would stop paying for Peacock if they were on Netflix in any sort of capacity. I think Nick Khan is pulling. He's really like, yo. He's inviting. He needs to hold something like the Cell Games and just like stand the thing and just announce it. And it's like all you streaming platforms show up and see who can sway me the best. So who can come the best with the best deal. Come to Cell Games this March or whatever the 2024 wherever our deals come up, and just know. Listen, this is where you want to be.
Yeah.
And that's Nick Khan. You know what I'm saying?
One more thing from Eric Bischoff here. Eric Bischoff says he talks about why he stopped having hope for AEW.
I'm mad this is a news. But go off. Of course.
He was
Yes.
talking to Shaq Wrestling. You know what I'm saying?
Shaq Wrestling?
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
What's their Patreon numbers looking like?
Well, he seems to be East Asian, so probably not on that list. You know, you don't pay for wet content. He was asked if he could see himself returning to WWE. He said, no, there's no need for me. He said, what I have to contribute to this point, we're beginning to see on television. Maybe this is just me being hyper optimistic because the last year wrestling has bored the F out of me. I want to be excited. I want to be interested. I've been in the business for 35 years, but I want to be excited about it. But it just bored me to death for a long time. So obviously, I'm guessing Eric means partnerships, media partnerships, stuff like that, which is something he was very heavy on with WCW, and it seems to be WWE's kind of cracked the code on finally with pro wrestling.
Yep.
Bischoff and what he threw in the towel with AEW. I had a little bit of hope with AEW. I had some hope there. I said, oh man, I mean, probably up until 6 months ago or 8 months ago, I kind of threw in the towel because I started seeing the same pattern of whatever over and over again. I go, okay, something different, but there's been nothing different out of WWE either. I've been pretty critical of WWE as well, but I make more headlines when I'm critical of AEW. Yeah, you just said they're doing the same thing.
Hey, and good for him. Good for him.
You did say WWE seemed to be more disciplined, so which is true. Like, they make the shit that they make the bullshit consistently there. AEW is just kind of like
it's all over the place.
Yeah. Oh, let's get to the shows.
Oh yeah, I got a few news points for you.
Oh shit! Go ahead.
I got a few quick. I've been hopping on the Daily Smart myself. Listen, how come I haven't heard about this G1 tournament? We're at the semifinals. It says Block A was won by Okada.
I figured it would be.
It said Block B was won by Tama Tonga.
Oh.
Defeated Jay White on the final night of the block competition. It says Block C was won by Tetsuya Naito. And Block D was won by Will Ospreay. So that is your semifinals, where we will see Ospreay face Tetsuya Naito, and Okada will face Tama Tonga. Thoughts?
Ooh, stinky.
I mean, it's set for this week. So by the time you hear this, the semifinals will be taking place later in the day or something, or early in the morning. I don't know how Japanese time works anymore. But G1 Climax, that's the kind of update on it. What else did I have a quick thing on? Oh, CM Punk is back. How'd you feel about that? How'd you feel? Did you see his return to AEW?
Yeah, I checked the AEW botches recap.
How do you feel about Punk being back and the whole Moxley Punk, who's the champion, who's not the champion? Your man Jim Cornette had some bars about it. That's what I've heard.
Oh, he called him a plumber, man. He's a plumber, dog. He's a plumber, man. We talked about it earlier. What he was doing with Effie, the boy. Come on, man. Listen,
he
love
said
you want to love.
He said the biggest mistake AEW made was not putting the championship on a heel for CM Punk to come back to conquer.
It's true. It's true. He's absolutely right. There's no reason, like, you're setting yourself up. People love Moxley. Like, love him on that show. Why would you do Punk like that unless you're about to turn him? Would he just be an old MJF at this point?
They need an MJF. I'll tell you that right now. They ain't seem like they got one. And then what else we got? I mean, let's head to the shows. How about that? Let's just go to the shows.
I think Punk needed to show back up, whether he's ready or not. I feel like his ass is probably did come back early. I feel like he probably did. A foot injury is pretty serious, Mills. He's only been gone for like a month and some change.
He's been gone for, I think, 2 months. It was before. It's a little bit under 2 months. So yeah, a month and some change. He's definitely not been gone that long, but he was still doing he was still very visible. He was doing all the press at San Diego Comic-Con. He was doing all these other stuff. So he was definitely out there. It's not like he completely disappeared. But in terms of like, will he be ready for All Out, which is in like, All Out it's the same weekend as Clash of the Castle, right?
2 weeks. Mm-hmm.
Will he be ready in 2 weeks?
It's a foot injury, bro. Like, I really don't know what to tell you, bro. Look how long it took like KD to come back from that foot injury he had a couple years ago. Like that shit put him down.
I mean,
but the thing is, wrestling likely has a lot more footwork that you have to do, if not the same as
to support people, especially to support and stabilize yourself for sure.
Yeah, his finisher, you got to put the guy on your shoulders. This guy weighs 240 something pounds. You jump off the ropes. It's cable. It has no give. Is his foot okay? He looked like he was limping. I know people were like, oh, he's probably selling. I'm like, that's a dumbass sell.
I wouldn't want to come back as, hurt and make my big return. But you know what? I'm gonna give
I don't want to wish nothing bad on, bro. But come on, what are y'all doing? But I could understand why he's like, yo, we gotta all hands on deck. We gotta extend the clip.
Hey man, they could have ran back Jericho and Moxley again. That match was good. That was a good match. That was a good match. Like Jericho did the work here, And I know Quan been getting hell because he called Moxley overrated.
Is he not?
No, he absolutely is.
Yeah, like he is.
I think, you know what the thing is like, I think he's got his own separate style of wrestling. It's just like, to me, it's
garbage wrestling. It's garbage wrestling.
Yeah, the man bled from his ear profusely. That was the man fought against Mance Warner and bled just the same.
It's garbage, man.
Here, come on, man. Think about yourselves.
Yeah, he happy, bro. That's all I gotta say. He happy.
He's happy. Let's happily move over to SmackDown.
Yes, SmackDown.
I don't even remember what happened on this show, but
I
remember the main event.
Let's talk about main event.
Gunther.
That guy.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
That guy. Let's just stop the cap too. He's always been presented like really well on this show. Like it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't just Friday that he was presented well. Someone was like, I saw somebody say this was the first time he's ever looked good. Say what? I think
that was the thing because of the Keith Lee thing. People were mad because people spun the block on Keith Lee because Keith Lee made some remark about Gunther having his name change earlier the year. It's like, yo, they're doing whatever they're doing to Gunther. Couple, months later down the line, Gunther's Intercontinental Champion, main event in SmackDown, doing the damn thing, and people spun the block on Keith Lee. It happens. It's Twitter,
I was like, I can't believe y'all are like really saying that the guy that held the title for 2 years. Remember, NXT is not different from WWE. It's the same company, guys. He's always been made to look. I think that the only time I ever raised my eyebrow at Gunther booking is when Braun Breaker beat him, but then he fucking debuted on SmackDown like the next day.
No, that's true.
Yeah, so like I was like, oh, I get it.
Yeah, no, I get it too. But it's beyond the narrative surrounding around this thing, it was a great match. It was a great main event, and the Intercontinental Championship being put in the spotlight of where it is. A lot of people talking about Intercontinental Championship is never featured on pay-per-view. I think they've decided that it's a TV show, especially when you get TV main events like this kind of spectacle. Do I think under Triple H it'll be featured on more pay-per-views moving forward? Absolutely.
Triple H has to work with what he has and what he had when he got there. If this was the plan going forward, like let's just be real, y'all. Like I think other than like some very superficial changes, like the Bailey stuff, all that rest of that stuff, like they're largely going to be working off the Vince playbook for a while. So like I don't see why people keep trying to like read between the lines. Triple H is doing all this, like the Loomis stuff, yeah. But I think just in terms of just like the way that the show is flowing and stuff, like that's the superficial changes, but like he's still working with what he's got. Like he can't just call up random niggas right now, So like for what it's worth and what it is.
I mean, he called up random niggas on this show for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, like you know what I mean, like in terms like to make like a like again, it's superficial changes that the show needed at that time.
Of course.
So like no, it's not everything's gonna look that different. Like and again, the shows aren't fundamentally different. They just flow better. They have matches that actually tell stories. They're telling like the storytelling to me is better in the last month that he's been there or 3 weeks that he's been there. So like again, and the story here is that Nakamura had a lot more than Gunther thought that he did. And I thought that he basically had to survive against Nakamura, and I thought that was a really great way to show it. Like that last power bomb was desperation, and I thought that was a really cool way to end that match.
I agree. I agree. Great stuff. Great stuff. Um, Speaking of random niggas, Hit Row made their return to SmackDown this week, and not just not just two of them, all three of them. Yes,
The
um,
OG3.
Top Dollar, Ashante the Adonis, Brianna Brandy, all SmackDown, back on SmackDown. Apparently, there was a priority. They were a priority, according to one AJ Francis himself.
Yeah,
Triple H made the.
in the middle of the show. You're a priority. Fuck out of here.
It's good energy for the SmackDown. It's good energy for the tag team division. I'll say that.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. If you're gonna have the New Day injured or not at full power, these are the guys that I think they could do it. You've got really good personalities. I just don't like the way they dress, man. It's still there. I know that they got upset at me for this. I'm never gonna I don't care if you're back. You need to get some. You need to get some better.
Get a stylist.
Get some better gear, man. That shit don't look good.
You can't afford no damn stylist.
Take that monkey shit off, man. You embarrassing us.
Don't
man.
say that. Please don't say that.
I'm looking at Ashanti, bro. This nigga had a jean suspender fit. Come on, man.
It's wrestling, man. It's wrestling.
Come on, man. This is crazy the way that they look.
Nonetheless, Hit Row back. They doing the damn thing. It's like they never left. It's like they've been.
The theme still hit. I think they took out Swerve's. I will say this about them: Swerve was not the best rapper in that crew.
I don't want to judge any of them on kind of any rapping ability. I just want to. I want the music thing out of it, just in general at all. But I do think for people who felt like may not do well without Swerve, I think you're terribly wrong. I think they're fine without Swerve, and they're doing the damn thing. So shout out to them for making their return on SmackDown.
They got enough to get like real shoes though, like real sneakers, like actual sneakers.
We can donate some, of course, maybe.
Yeah, I'm moving. I'll
take them out of your collection. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'll give them some. The Sami Zayn Bloodline feud seems to be moving. I'm just not sure in what direction. But I thought it was interesting.
Ran away when they got jumped. He ran away.
The smoke came out. He said, "I'm out, bro. I can't."
That's a real. I love it. Let me see what else.
Karrion Kross. Let's go to Karrion Kross.
Karrion Kross, sure.
Let's just leave it on the table here. There's no way this guy's in that match. Can we just say that now? He's not in the match.
He's not.
Drew has said. Drew has said as much. I'll handle you when I'm done. And I was like, thank you, because everyone seemed to think that a guy was going to get a triple threat off not even earning it, off just hitting somebody a couple times. This ain't AEW, bro.
I mean that. Karrion Kross, they just need to figure him back into the fold, and he's been managing. I mean, he's floating. He's in the orbit of the main event program, so by proxy, he's important as of right now. So I think that's what they're kind of going for. Good promo. Let's see if he gets a match.
I like the look. The hair is a nice touch.
Does he get a match before Clash at the Castle or not?
It would be smart to do so, but I don't think that I think that in building for this pay-per-view, which only has 4 matches right now, I think that it would be better to put more matches on that card right now.
Absolutely.
So I think it's not, to me, it's not a priority to see him wrestle right now. No. McIntyre had a good promo. He's going with the part-timer thing for Roman. I'm like, damn, he just became a part-timer like a month and a half ago. Like, man, you on his ass already.
Nah, he big mad. He won't even get a chance to challenge for the damn belt until September. You know what I'm saying? He won the damn thing in July.
Yeah, like you can't let him have a rest, bro. Like, come on, man.
Nah, I feel him. I feel the Drew McIntyre energy right now.
First round of the women's tag team tournament happened. Raquel Gonzalez and Aaliyah versus Xia Li and Shotzi. Shotzi, man.
Fast forward to the finals for me. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you.
I feel like Shotzi kind of lost a lot of the confidence that I saw her have in NXT, and I'm wondering like when
she's a heel.
Yeah,
because she's a heel.
She need to go to like a class with some of these women that like actually do it really well and learn how to work her offense to be because I think the only thing she has to me as a heel that's cool is that finisher. That finisher is hellacious. I like it a lot.
Send it to the John Moxley School of Wrestling,
Oh
bro.
hell no! All right, I'm out.
Let her figure that out.
Raquel Gonzalez is very popular, by the way. They like her a lot. Fans are fucking.
I'm indifferent, but go off, Queen. You know what I'm saying?
It ain't up to you. It's up to them.
It's not up to me.
Yeah, it's up to
I
the
tell you
fans.
what's up to me. It ain't up to me.
What else
You
happened
know
here?
who did show up with the women? Ronda Rousey. She came
Yeah.
in looking like a BMF.
What do you feel on this thing that again the Triple H rose colored glasses I like to call it.
Similar situation to Moxley and Punk.
Right.
Similar situation. Maybe this was not the best course of action to go about this in a especially when you made Ronda Rousey now look even cooler.
Right. But I was saying that like people were saying that like, oh, now they're finally cheering her. They've never cheered her before. And I don't necessarily think that opinion holds a lot of water to me. I feel like she was always popular. She just didn't have anything to work off of. Like Charlotte is not someone you should be having like elongated feuds with. People will just fall out of it very quickly.
Nah, but when you not supposed to be there and then you show up, that's cool.
Yeah.
and then you put out a whole bag of money on the table. That's cool. And then you get kicked out. That's even more cool. And
I
then
don't
they
think
gotta follow that.
I don't think they lost a lot with like they did. You did hear like little rumblings of like you tapped out type shit, but like I don't think that Liv has necessarily lost support. But I do think they need to have Liv again do something cool. And you know what they could do that would be cool for her to beat one of these cool people clean.
She gotta beat people. She gotta beat someone up. That's really what she gotta do. She gotta beat someone up. You beat these bitches up. I don't fight. I beat bitches up. Where's the coral?
Exactly. Like
WWE uploaded a whole Comic Con panel. Interesting. Okay, I'm on their YouTube. My bad.
but Shannon Baszler, I did like the stuff there. Ronda telling her used to be a killer. So, oh, what are we getting here? I would much rather have them both face off against each other.
I would agree. I would agree. I don't want to see. I mean, we could see Ronda and Shayna team up as well. Um, I think if you want to do something to hold off a lot of stuff until like around Mania time, you could definitely do that. If you want
Mm-hmm.
to do Shayna and Ronda together, teaming up, destroying the division, having people, you know, essentially fight them or something along those lines. Like you start, if you really want to book Naomi and Sasha in a big match, have them face Ronda and Shayna.
Right, right.
And see where everything lies. So I think they could do that if they go about that. But I could also see Ronda versus Shayna as well, and see how that goes. But guess SmackDown, a lot of stuff happened.
Yeah, I told you, bro. A lot of
Stick Kofi, man. Kendo Stick Kofi. It's
storytelling.
Kofi.
They should end this. I think they should keep New Day off until they find something to do with them.
I agree. Or have Kofi face Gunther.
Oh wow, you were mad at the Brock thing?
Come on, I'm not mad at. No one's gonna be mad at the Gunther thing. I think. Why would they want him? It's an Intercontinental Championship. Like, relax. He's won it like 6 times.
All right, see you see y'all see how it is.
Listen,
The,
Meals
the,
booking.
the
You want
block
Gunther
erasure,
over
Brock erasure,
Kofi.
the Brock erasure. That's crazy. Let's go to Raw.
Let's go to Raw.
I don't have many complaints here.
I good matches.
Yeah,
I think what we're going to see now is lack of entertainment. That's my hot take.
yeah, I don't think so. Like
That's my hot take. I think we're getting good matches, but are we losing the in-ring segments? Are we losing
no, we did. We had one to open the show.
Listen. Let me finish, all right? Are we losing the segments like American Alpha has a, spelling bee contest or something? Are we losing
The same guy who booked the Riddle Pete Dunne trivia thing, by the way.
Let me finish what I'm saying. Are we going to lose all these things for more wrestling?
No, no. I mean, we still saw silly shit tonight or on Monday.
I like a mixture of silly stuff and serious stuff.
I
But the show had really good matches on it, so I'm not even mad at it.
I still think that you will see the silly shit. You saw the serious promos, the KO and Drew had one.
But I think
I don't get you saying that when there was clearly that.
But I feel like, even those in-ring I feel like everything devolved into a fight. You know what I'm saying? Like everything.
They always do.
Not always. No, it doesn't always devolve into a fight. Sometimes there's promos for the sake of promo. Sometimes there's entertainment segments for the sake of entertainment, stuff like that. But I felt like everything was so intense. You know what I'm saying? Judgment Day brutally squashes Rey Mysterio with a chair. Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens, suddenly they're fighting. You know what I'm saying? Seth Rollins and things. Suddenly we're building up to this. I completely understand it. But I feel like we need to make those. We still need to have like those segments to like, push the narrative. We still need one of those.
If you want Miss TV back,
Miss TV would be fire. But
I don't. I'm telling you, these shows don't seem, other than the matches being good, they shows and to me, there's a concerted effort to have people take the handcuffs off. The handcuffs seem to be off with everybody. They're doing whatever the fuck they want to do on these matches now.
Absolutely.
But I don't think that I just don't see, and all the any listeners can hit me up on Twitter, hit Meals up on Twitter if you agree or disagree. I don't see a major difference with there not being silly shit. You had the Elias shit on this very show.
That was like silly, but like a mean silly.
It didn't lead to a fight.
Last week.
Oh my god, this is one of those like Millsisms that like you get hung up on one thing, and I'm not
hung up on this. I'm just making observations about the show. I'm making observations. I'm making a couple observations. I'm like, okay. We move. Obviously, it's Vince McMahon who likes a lot of like humor and entertainment and stuff like that, and we're moving on to someone else who's running the show, and I completely get their outlook for running the show. But it's like I never fully want to lose that. Not saying that we're going to lose that, but I never want to fully lose that throughout the entire show. And it feels like this show was a lot more intense than previous shows had been. This is my observation. This is not me dictating what should happen on the show. This is not me dictating what they should do with the show. This is my observation that things are a lot more intense on Monday Night Raw, moving forward.
Sure. Asuka and Alexa Bliss, Nikki Ash, Piper Niven, Asuka and Alexa
Niven. She ain't there yet.
Like she was still Doudrop tonight?
Yeah, she's still Doudrop.
I thought she changed her name.
Doudrop.com.
Oh damn. Well, yeah, that one. Bliss and Asuka win. You get some really good stuff between them in Control. Miz and Ciampa versus a lot of tag matches on this show. Also, I think that Triple H is being. Do you feel as though he's being very deliberate in the fact that he's saying tag team wrestling matters to me, and here's why? Because you had a lot of tag matches on the show. Miz and Ciampa versus Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali. Hey, welcome back, you two. You haven't been on for a while. Really good match too, man.
Hey, man, listen. DIY what? DIY who?
Miz and Ciampa. Right, this nigga's wilding. Y'all hear this?
They even brought Veer back. How about that? How's your thoughts on seeing Veer?
They gave Veer his last name back, by the way.
That's nasty.
Yeah, they gave him the Mahan back, so I thought that was funny. I wonder if they'll start calling him Tommaso Ciampa again.
Let me see what they do on .com. Hold on.
I feel like Veer he should just be a babyface. I felt nothing for that squash. I was like, you just needed to fill some time.
Absolutely.
Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens, really good match, really good promo. One of my favorite promos. Like that was a banger. And again, this is why I'm not fucking worried about whatever Karrion Kross stuff comes with Drew, because this guy makes everyone rise to another level. And Kevin Owens was definitely there. Kevin needed this promo to let people know that he's not going to be a silly guy anymore. And Drew needed this to kind of dispel the injury rumors, which means I'm working through it because I might be winning the title. So he pretty much is like, I'm not going anywhere, which is fine. Really good match. I went really high on this match, man. It was one of my favorite. And again, from last week's Finn and Ray match and the Ciampa Lashley, another one of my favorite TV matches were between these two. They went off for DC.
They absolutely did. So let's go talk about who went on for DC. The man, Brian Bosa.
Right, Bosa. Listen, man, I didn't know that that had happened. So like, I was just watching the show. I was watching Better Call Saul, obviously. So like, I was watching that, and then I kind of wait for Raw to come on, and then I saw him, and I was like, man, this boy is crazy. This just, hey, you a legend, man. We love you, and that's why we love you. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why we love you, man.
Absolutely.
Riddle is back. Finally, some heat for this program. Jesus Christ, I've questioned the thought of Seth always getting the upper hand on him, to a point where like it almost seems futile for me to actually like care about it. But I'm willing to let it play out. What do you think?
I don't know how I feel about it right now.
Okay,
I guess because he's just back. He just got back. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about it right now.
give me something, please. Please give me something.
I will.
AJ versus Lashley, it delivered to me. I thought that like the commercial breaks really hurt it for me though. And the odd ones, obviously, like Loomis comes out. It seems to be it's going to be AJ and Loomis, and they're going to put him in like a AJ's in his weird feud era for WWE.
He's an NXT whisperer. Ciampa, Loomis, Grayson Waller. Who else?
I think I honestly feel like in his contract he said he wants to work with these guys, which would be cool if true. But I feel like that would be something.
It's giving me very big Bryan Danielson energy right now.
Yeah, which I mean that is the kind of the role he's in, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, right.
Lashley wins with the spear. I thought it was really good. Again, they keep putting this title on TV and they keep letting it be defended. No, I think what you missed is like the flexing contest with the oil and stuff.
Not really that, but I get where you're going
whatever.
with it.
Yeah, whatever.
I get where you're going with it.
Dakota Kai versus Dana Brooke squash. I don't know why people wanted this to be anything more than what it was. Bailey told Wale to shut up, and I say that mirrors what I tell him all the time. Then the main event, I was like, wait.
Oh, I tuned out before the main event. I'm sorry. If this match was good, I apologize.
NXT ass main event here between Austin Theory and Dolph. Again, I can't hate the guy when he has good ass matches like this. The last 5 or so minutes of this match were freaking great. It wasn't forced to me. It had a good story. I liked Ziggler finally to explain what he was doing, and I thought that it really helped really kind of make Theory here. I thought he had a really commanding win, which is odd because they don't often give Money in the Bank winners this many wins, but I thought it was good, man.
I wonder where we go from here with this Money in the Bank. If it ain't SummerSlam, if Drew doesn't win it, God bless Theory. God bless. I mean, he might save it for WrestleMania at this point. Might save it for WrestleMania for real. I apologize to these men if this was a great match. I was like, you know what? I'm kind of tapped out of wrestling right now. It was a lot of good matches, a lot of good matches, a lot of good stuff happened, and I was very, very kind of like exhausted from all of it. So I just tapped out of this match, but it feels fire. Shout out to these guys.
Shout out to them. I'm enjoying Raw. I'm enjoying Raw
as well.
Like I look forward to it every Monday. There's always something to look forward to. And what you should be looking forward to if you're on our Patreon is an upcoming episode of Spot Callers. We're reviewing ROH Death Before Dishonor 6. Me and Cyrus will be doing that. Of course, War Report, we're talking all about NXT Heatwave that will be airing this week and giving their reviews on what could potentially be the last NXT for a lot of the people on this brand. If, what Triple H is trying to do right now kind of folds out, bringing up all of his guys and women. So thank you guys for listening. Next week we're slowly getting to Clash at the Castle, and I cannot wait for that. And I can't wait to talk about it. So next week on the A Show, I don't know where I'll be. I'll be somewhere, but I will be here with you guys and Meals.
I hope to God you will be
on this show. But thank you guys for listening. I appreciate y'all. Until next week, peace.